to talk about our featured story of the night. Woo! Yeah. Happy featured story of the night day, everybody. That makes no sense. So our featured story, which I want to get into very briefly because it's very technical and there's a lot going on with it. So right now in the UK, they're having a problem with property taxes. And you're like, what's that matter with film? Well, the big thing is they're called I'm going to make sure I get this right. The Valuation Office Agency actually assess the property taxes for different, properties in the UK. And they said that they've been not paying enough on these properties where they had sound stages like Pinewood Studios. So they're trying to increase things by about 3 to 4%, their taxes. So these studios are going to have a huge increase in how much they're paying every year for their taxes. And they call us their rateable values. They call it the rateable values. It's an assessment of the amount of property would rent for if it were available to an open market. So they went ahead and they've been going through, and this VOA said there are 3 factors why they're raising everybody's property taxes. They will not say what they are. And all the studios are going fucking nuts about it because the UK is a huge booming business for film. It's getting bigger and bigger. I mean, Marvel has their own contract with them at Pinewood, hence why Ant-Man initially shot most of their production there. And then the reshoots in LA, it happens with all their big products. You go, why they go to the UK? Because they have a contract. Well, now these studios are be paying 3 to 4 times more a year. Now, how much more is that? How much are they paying? So you put it in perspective. Right now, Pinewood Studios, they're paying about $3.9 million a year. It's going to jump to $16.2 million with this. Huge difference. Warner Brothers right now, they said they're going to quadruple what Warner Brothers, their European or their United Kingdom studio is going to pay $25.3 million a year now in taxes. That's insane for them. And what they're saying they're going to have to do is they're going to pawn that fee off on the producers. They're going to pawn it off on the people coming in. So now they're going to raise the money for them and how much it costs to actually spend to shoot in the UK, which is what can happen? Everyone's going to leave the UK. Now, if it costs so much, they're not going to shoot there. They'll stay in the States. They'll go to Georgia. They'll go to Vancouver. Maybe they'll stay here in LA. Please stay here in LA. So this is a huge problem for the UK. I mean, you think about it, that's a lot of money going out of their pockets. Now, I bring this up because we talk about jobs. So jobs, for us, it could increase jobs here in LA, like I said, Chicago, New York, Georgia. It might actually help the working actor in the United States, which could be a good thing for us, horrible thing for the UK, because they've been surging for years, making more and more money every year. And it's because of these big contracts they get. So for me, I'm like, raise those taxes. Come on, raise those taxes. Let's do it right now. But for them, they're fighting it. They're trying to audit them, the VOA. They're like, no, come in here and we got to reassess our property value. So they're trying to fight it tooth and nail. They are. That's what they came out today. They were saying this story broke like last week, but we need to talk about it. And the update came today where they said they were actually challenging the VOA over this and questioning them. And that's when the VOA said, hey, we don't want to tell you, but there's 3 things. We'll tell you eventually what those 3 things are, why we're saying this property should be charged more for taxes. So for me, though, I'm like, let it happen. That's how I feel about it. I go, it's a bad thing if you're an UK actor. And there's a lot of people like Jake. You have a whole database that shoots in the UK, right? So for that aspect, for your managing company, it's a problem because now there'll probably be less jobs there, or maybe they just will, won't be outsourcing the United States as much, maybe. So maybe some of your talent that are here that would normally fly to the UK won't be brought in because now if they're paying more money, they're going to try to local hire people because they want to save money. What do you think about this, Jake? Do you think this is a good thing or a bad thing for the film industry? I know it's a lot of information.
No, it's fine. It makes sense. I was trying to kind of make a comparison in my head what they're kind of doing. It's like renting a house to somebody for, like we're going to give you $1,200 a month for rent, right? Yeah. But because at the end of the year, your house could potentially be worth $1,600 a month, we're going to charge you an extra 7% on top of that just to cover our own butts. It's a speculation, and I don't like it when people charge people speculative money because there's no proof that it's worth that at all. But like you said, it's good for this market because it might drive some of that business back home
for us.
But a lot of actors, I think, in the European market, they're aware of the amount of work that's like Hollywood drives the whole thing, and a lot of them have their dual citizenship stuff. They have passports, and they go back and forth, and they pay a lot of money out of their own pockets to make the trips back and forth because they know they have to go where the opportunities are. But I don't have access to Spotlight, which is like the European.
That's what it's Spotlight. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's called Spotlight. But my boss does, and she's on there once in a while. I don't know how often she's in there digging around. But it's going to be curious to see. I think it's just another thing that's part of the the writers thing and the directors thing.
Oh yeah,
and this happening, and all the different streaming platforms, and where do we put our content? Who do we sell our content to? Who's going to pick it up? There's so much going on.
So many curveballs.
Not a lot happening. Yeah. So the dust needs to settle, and I'm not even going to give you a timeline, but I have a feeling it's going to be a minute, until everything falls into place.
I believe that 100%. I honestly, like you're saying, there's so many things that are happening right now that just affect everything. And people get scared. And again, like, now if we're not going to go to the UK, what do we do? Especially if they have cheaper deals before there. It's like, and they plan on taking productions there. Now they're holding them back because of that. They're also holding them back because of the potential writer's strike. We're also holding them back because of the potential DGA strike. There's a lot of factors in 2023 that could really fuck over the whole entertainment industry. And that has been a hard thing because we just came back eventually. It took so long, but we're finally back rocking and rolling. I feel like things are normal again for the most part. So now it's another curveball. Sabrina, you hear about this. Do you think this will be a good thing for actors in LA? And do you think this will actually affect the film industry overall with being less jobs, like less, jobs coming around?
I don't think it's going to affect the jobs because people are going to shoot. It's just a matter of where. If they're not shooting in the UK, they're going to shoot somewhere else. Netflix is building an insane, huge stage situation in New Jersey. Ryan Reynolds, as we were going to cover tonight, is building stages in Canada. I'm just saying, like, these things.
We'll talk more about that tomorrow.
People, like, things. Okay, I'm sorry. Did I just take the wind out of your sails?
Spoiler alert! No, you're good. I mean, he's on our image today,
like, It's in the news, like, rein it in. Like,
he's on our image today. If you see our graphic, you see it.
That's why I brought it up. You're welcome. So, anyway, there are a lot of places where, like, film is spreading out to. And there are a lot of places where it's still being very successful. Oh, thank you for that weird outside.
That's Pinewood Studios right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're flying over.
Or
where's that at? Jersey?
That's in the UK.
UK.
Yeah, it's Pinewood.
My point is
pretty impressive.
That it just looks like a bunch of shit in the middle of a forest, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know, it's pretty impressive. It looks fucking weird.
Sabrina's not impressed.
No, I have great stages, yay. Like, I live in Los Angeles. There are stages fucking every which way you turn. Like, from Burbank to Universal City to Hollywood to Culver City. They're literally everywhere. So, like, I'm, not expressly impressed by stages since I live around all of them. My point is that people are going to shoot. So I don't think it's going to be less jobs for anyone, anywhere. I think it'll be less jobs that are shooting in the UK, but it doesn't fucking matter. If they want a UK actor, they will just bring them to the US to shoot, as we've seen a million times. And if they want an American actor, they're going to bring you to the UK to shoot, as we've seen a million times. So I don't really think it's going to affect the actor too much. I think it's going to affect, like, the UK as a whole, like, more. They're not going to get as much revenue, which is a huge thing because they have been getting so much film revenue. So I feel like it's more of like a governmental thing. And I think that they should reconsider what they're doing because I think they've been doing pretty good because of film. However, for the actor, for the DP, for the crew member, like, I feel like the work is still going to be there. It just might not be exactly where you left it.
Yeah. I just, the producers probably will pay more too, some of the producers maybe this so. VOA, maybe the VOA is saying that they haven't been charging enough. But I'm saying maybe it's been such a good deal and that's why they've been going there because it's been such a great deal.
Yeah, but now you're like quadrupling it. That's a big fucking difference, dude.
I know.
Like, they'll go somewhere else that's closer to home and not pay for hotels. Pay for, you know what I mean? Like, there's other
Which is options. Booming business for the UK. That's huge business for them.
And that boosts everywhere around you because now you have all these people there that are going to have to go grocery shopping or go to restaurants or go buy clothes. Like, it boosts the economy as a whole everywhere around it because you're bringing a bunch of people there and putting them up. So, like, it really is going to be a hit for them. Like, I feel like it's going to be a pretty big hit for them because so much. It's a hot spot for filming right now, and I feel like it's only been trending upwards. Like more was going to happen, so I feel like if they were smart, they would probably reassess this quadruple raise. And I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, me either.
If someone from here was doing that assessment, I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, raise them up because then we can bring it back. Like, but as someone from the UK doing the assessment in the UK, it just seems counterproductive to be doing what they're doing, honestly.
Yeah, you're like, what the hell are you doing?
It seems silly.
Because you are messing up a lot of businesses by doing this too.
Yeah.
Or, because the producers don't want to pay more money. End of the day, they're not going to want to pay more money. This passes, they're going to be like,
that's why strikes happen. They're going to be like,
Yeah.
can we have 1% more of residuals? And they're like, no, fuck you. And they'll strike. Like, I mean, it's like, so they're not going to pay quadruple the amount to shoot in the UK. They'll just
Not going to happen.
Vancouver or Atlanta.
Well, and
or somewhere
at the end of the day, it hurts the person going to work for a paycheck.
100%, as it always does.
Which it always does, and that's the problem. Like they can't just keep their $1 million hands in their own pockets for once. Like get out of here. But
give me more, give me more.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, I read an article about White Lotus today, and they shot in Italy. And they were like, basically, they chose Italy because they had good tax incentives, and that was that. They go like the first season they shot in Hawaii. That they want to shoot in Asia next season, but like the reason why they chose Italy, they wanted to go to Europe, and they chose Italy because it was the best tax incentive. So like that's something that producers look for. So if you're hiking it up, but no producer's gonna be like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's pay 4 times as much to shoot somewhere that we can find the same exact fucking stages somewhere else. Like it's not gonna happen.
It's got the British rocks. I like those rocks. I want those rocks in my show.
Yeah. I need this one British rock. I love it very much. Fuck you.
But as an actor, though, I think it's very encouraging for us because, again, we've lost a lot of these productions to overseas, to other states. So it might actually bring back more work here. So it might be a good thing for the working actor.
Would you not love to be like, oh yeah, a role that shoots in London? Fuck yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you get on a fucking plane and then you're in London shooting and hanging out and going to Flatiron Steak and like hanging out with Mia. Like I'm just saying,
that place is epic.
It is epic. It's so good.
If you ever go to London,
shout
Flatiron
out to
Steak.
Flatiron.
It's right by the London Bridge and the Bay Bridge.
Oh, nice.
Right by the London Bridge.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. Not that we're doing product placement. We do it once in a while. We pitch places, But like I'm saying,
they're not paying us, but we'll let you know that it's a good fucking place to eat.
Yeah, it's so good. We loved it. We're there for like a couple days, and it was amazing. So if you ever go there, Flatiron, it's a place to be. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see, Jake. We'll see, right? You'll have to keep us updated as things progress, too. We'll have to bring you back on about this because we'll see how this year develops. Honestly, May 1st is not that long away, and we'll know. We'll know in April. We'll know in April what's going to happen.
It's essentially 2 months away.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's almost March.
If you're into writing, if that's like one of your side passions and you like doing it and you're writing and even producing as an actor, just don't stop working. Is all I can say.
Wow.
Continue practicing, keep doing whatever you can do that's within your field that keeps you sharp. Because when it comes back, it's going to come back with a vengeance, and you're going to want to be ready to take on that workload. So just keep sharp.
Yeah, don't hold back. Don't give up your game. A lot of people do. A lot of people get lazy. You can't get lazy in this business,
or discouraged,
and you know what?
or like jaded. I mean, there's a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if work shuts down,
you're ready.
Yeah, and if it shuts down, then take that opportunity to make moves. Start preparing some stuff. Figure out when it comes back how to put yourself in the best scenario so you succeed.